Hello. Yeah. Hey, welcome. Cool. Welcome to History Chats this afternoon. Um, Hopefully, people. I don't think we sent something out. Oh yeah, looks like there's some people. Welcome. Yeah, we're going to be getting started in just a couple minutes. I went a little late here. We're doing something a little different in that I we weren't able to get this to line up exactly correctly at the time. Which is to say, Sheryl. We're going to talk today about Sheryl with Sheryl Del Conte about who's our curator of arts. Sorry, curator of events. And We're going to talk about what's going to come up next year in 2022, what we have planned at the Historical Society, and all of that. But unfortunately, Sheryl is traveling at the moment, and so can't be with us live. So we sat down last week with her and recorded something, and then I edited it together, and we're just going to play that. So that's what we're going to do today. Still a great conversation and some interesting stuff coming up in 2022. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. I will apologize ahead of time. I had the microphone set up closer to her than me, and so my voice is a little echoey. You can still hopefully make out what I was saying. But thankfully, Sheryl did most of the talking, and as is by design here. And yeah. But anyway, that's what that'll be about when we get into that. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and play it here. Thanks for joining us, and yeah, I'll see you at the end, I guess. Here. I'm joined by Sheryl Del Conte, who's our curator of events, and we're gonna just talk about what's coming up next year. Yeah, and I guess first, do you want to talk a little bit about the past year, or do we want to jump right into the?
No, we have a couple pretty big events that we've had so far. And first of all, I started in June and very, very happy to be here. I'm quite a history buff, so to be able to plan events at the Historical Society is quite a treat. So, but two of the events that I was lucky enough to plan this year, my first one was in September. It was the cemetery tour. And we had 9 reenactors out at Pine Grove Cemetery. And I believe we had over 300 guests that went through the tour. In fact, you were one of our reenactors as Frank Dana, right?
Yep, Frank.
So that was a great first event to start out with. My second event was Holidays at the Houses, and we tried something a little different this year. We did holiday traditions in our community. And what we did is we focused on different cultural and religious groups.
To be clear, in the past we've done Christmas at the houses, and so
Yes.
we tried to open it up to new
Yes,
groups, so it's not just the same stories over and over. So
exactly.
that was a very, very well done. I was a little dubious of being like, oh boy, how diverse can we really get here in central Wisconsin? But we got some great people that
Yes.
joined us.
And we would like to do that theme again next year because there were so many other groups that would have wanted to participate this year, but you know our building isn't that big, so we had to make sure that we accommodated with our space. And of course, next year we'll bring back the gingerbread contest. That's always
Landmarks.
Yes, that's always a fan favorite. So that'll definitely be back.
Yeah. So that's coming up next year. What else do we have to look forward to in 2022?
Well, in February, we're going to have our annual Vintage Valentine's Tea, which we have a loyal following and we have a lot of people who come out every year. And this year, once again, there'll be a little bit of a Sheryl twist, and we will have a reenactor come in and lead us through the history of a tea, the proper way to do a tea. And by the way, holding your cup, it is very gauche to hold up your pinky finger. So, Ben, the next time you're having tea, please make sure to not do that, okay?
I'll keep that in mind.
So, yes, and we're hoping to have beautiful centerpieces, floral arrangements, and yes, we do have to keep in mind COVID. So we will make sure that our event is COVID safe. That Saturday after the vintage tea, which is February 12th, we will be having our family Valentine's tea. And as our families arrive, we will have COVID safe snack bags with prepackaged food. And then the children will be able to do a tea themed Valentine's Day craft. And we will have a photo fun area. And it'll just be a really great family event for everyone, mom, dad, grandparents. And so we're looking forward to that as well. We have, I have to make sure to mention this because Anna, who's in charge of our education, wanted me to mention our story time in the garden, which we have June through September, usually on the second Thursday at 1:00. But we have our social media, so we'll always make sure that our dates are out there and on our website. And
That's
so
usually in the garden, the Yaki House garden.
yes, it's over there. And by that point, the garden is just beautiful. And I'm a little partial because I coordinate the garden club volunteers. So, little bias there. But yes, children and their caregivers are welcome to come out and sit in the garden. And we have some refreshments and some story time. And so that's a very nice time.
And I think we have a rain date location too. So if it's the weather's
Yes,
looking
we
bad,
do.
we'll probably still be doing it.
We do.
But just keep in mind, check our social media or give us a call if you want to come and you're not sure about the rain.
And sometimes we can move it into the carriage house. So if need be, we can still. But yes, we'll definitely be announcing that on our social media as well. So, and then of course we'll be bringing back our cemetery tour next September, but we will be at Pine Lawn, at Rest Lawn Cemetery, right?
Yeah.
Rest Lawn.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, and then we'll have a whole nother group of people that we're going to be out there reenacting. And if you haven't been to the cemetery tour, you really have to go. It is fascinating and educational, and it's a must activity. So yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't know if we've officially been announced or anything, but that would be in conjunction. That specific event is going to be one of the highlights for the year's celebration of Wausau's history.
Yes.
Since Wausau will be turning 150 years old as a city.
Yes.
So I know that we have a couple. In addition to what we're talking about, we have some stuff on the back burner that we're working on as well for that. But that'll be one of the things in September for the cemetery tour. So.
And speaking of the 150th anniversary, I believe that you will also be doing a History Speaks on that.
That's the plan, yeah.
Yeah.
We have a number of History Speaks, and by the way, I'm sure History Chats as well.
Yes.
For those of you maybe just stumbled on this, that's the History Speaks are our hour-long, more or less, lectures that we do once a month. And then History Chats are our weekly thing that we do for, maybe less than half an hour every Thursday. So I'm sure that both of those will include a great deal of Wausau history as well as some other things as well.
Yes.
But like you said, I'm on the books to do the history of the Wausau centennial. So
yes.
Looking forward to pulling all that together.
And we have a few other History Speaks topics. In February, Rick Ryer is coming in from Wisconsin Public Radio, and he will be talking about the history of WPR and also Wisconsin Public Television. So that'll be very interesting. In January, we have Jay Dick, who will be coming in from the Wausau Valley Improvement.
Yep.
Yes, and that is, I did not realize what they do. So if you want to learn more about what they do, definitely tune in for History Speaks. And once again, we'll have that information up on our website.
Yeah, for the whole season.
Exactly.
I'm showing the new graphic that we put together for
Yes.
the one in January. So that usually these are 2:00 on a Saturday. If you're not
Yes.
sure about what specific they are, or just want to see what's coming up, like you said, we'll have the full schedule out.
Yep.
I'm sure soon.
And then in May, you will be working with a guest speaker from the Northwood Historical Society.
We're also turning on.
Yeah.
It's a slightly different anniversary. It's the founding as opposed to the city, but it's still another 150th in central Wisconsin from the city of Marshfield.
Yeah.
So we don't know exactly who that's going to be yet. We've got some people that are kind of figuring that out, but that'll be an exciting chance to bring in, it's not quite, it's Marathon County, but it's, on the edge there. And it's going to be fun to put a spotlight on our neighbors.
Yes. And that was your idea. And I think that was a great idea. And I hope we can do that again in the future where we reach out to our fellow historical societies. So,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then the last thing that I wanted to talk about is people need to look for us at community events because we are out at the Harvest Fest every October. And you can pick out a pumpkin, but you can come over to our booth and we have a children's craft going on. And then we are always out at Winterfest in January. But I don't know about that yet because I haven't been a part of that, but we will be in the Great Hall at the Grand Theater and we'll have something fun.
I think we talked about, I think the idea, and this could change potentially, but we've been doing some, history chats, some sort of visual representations of some of the winter sports in the area. So we're going to cut that together in one big thing and have that playing so you can, come learn about the history of curling or hockey, snowmobiling, ski jumping. Is the other one. So, in addition to the stuff for the kids and for the families to come and, there'll be some stuff for all ages.
Yes. Don't we have a section about winter sports in our Marathon County exhibit, right?
We do, yeah, the parks exhibit that we have.
Yes.
Currently, which will also be up. It's not quite an event, but if you find yourself in the area and you want to learn a little bit about the last century of parks, we have Preserved Generations, our newest exhibit as well. Yeah.
Who knew that we had a local ski jump?
Oh, a couple of them. Yeah, for sure.
I don't think I would ever try that, though. Yeah, it's not on my bucket list. So, but we can always use volunteers because we are always out at the Wisconsin Valley Fair, and we have volunteers that run our fair booth, and we have all the events that we talked about throughout the year. We have volunteers that are here that help us out with everything from the holiday event. We had people greeting at the door to people in the lower level helping with the children's craft. So if people are interested in volunteering, please contact the Historical Society and I will make sure to be in touch with you.
Yeah, for sure.
So is there anything else, Ben, that you wanted to talk about?
The last thing I wanted to just mention, this is a History Chats technically.
Yes,
sometimes,
yes.
We don't have the full year because we kind of go month by month in many cases. But we do have next year for January, we are going to be starting with some WASA stories. So can kind of announce the first month at least. So next week, which is actually, next week, we'll be looking at the Big Bull Falls. Let's see, I think I have a bigger graphic here. Yeah. So this will be the history of the concept of the Big Bull Falls. That, for those of you who may not know, that was what Wausau was originally called. It was just that place on the river, the Big Bull Falls. And it has continued to have a longer history with the community, for sure. And then we're also going to be looking at the various city halls of Wausau, which we've had a few, and more than you might not expect. So that'll be a fun one. And then the third will be the logos of Wausau, which has been interesting as part of the research for the 150th. Yeah, I mean, you might think.
I didn't know we had a logo.
And it's interesting because sometimes There are some that you'll look at and you go, oh, I recognize that.
Okay.
You drive into town, you see the sign,
Oh,
or things like that.
got it.
So it's not just official logos; it'll also be a little bit about the
Okay.
emblems for different celebrations and just
Okay.
sort of how we've done that. And putting together some research for the 150th next
Okay.
year, I came across some very interesting stories. So we'll do that as well. And then finally, to round out the month, we're going to be taking a look at with guest speaker Blake Opalwask. Sorry, Blake, if I'm getting your name wrong. He's the director of the Wassa River District, and he'll be joining us to have a little
Okay.
discussion about what they do and kind of where they came from and their role in the community. So yeah, and I'm sure from there we have some other stuff in the works. Actually, here's a good call. In February, kind of call to action here. In February, one of the talks is going to be your questions. So whatever questions that maybe you've ever thought, I want to know about this, I've never thought to ask, here's your chance. Feel free to send those in to us. Comment on the video or whatever. We'll see it. Message us. And we'll just kind of pick out some good topics and just go with that. So if you have any, keep an eye out for any questions that you might have, things that you might want to know about. Yeah. So anyway, a lot of cool stuff coming up.
Yeah, I'm
throughout the
very
year.
excited. I think
Yeah.
Ben, I think I have the best job ever. I'm a little biased, but I love what I do, and I love the day of an event where you get to see all of it come together and see people smiling and have a good time. So
Yeah.
I'm very lucky.
It's always I feel the same way. I feel
Yeah.
amazing to be able to just share history with people for a living and help them find answers to questions.
Yeah.
It's great. So and we always thankful for everybody who lets us makes use of our events, comes to our events,
Yep.
and all of that. So there you go. I think
Yeah.
that's everything.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Oh yeah. Well,
So-
try to get everybody on. All the staff members on whether they want to or not at some point. We had earlier this month we had Martina and
Oh, she
Eric,
did a
so-
wonderful job.
and Eric did as well.
Yes.
So we're super happy to showcase some of our new
Yeah.
people that maybe if you've not been here in the last year, maybe never got a chance to meet us. But
Yeah.
here we are. And,
Well, you should come out and meet us
Yeah.
because there's a lot to see here, and we have our Yawkey House tour. So
Mhm.
if you haven't been here, you should come visit us.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So there you go. That's what we're doing next year. Hope you join us for that. And
All right. Yeah, that's about the program today. Again, apologize for the sound on my end. Hit the wrong setting on a microphone, but hopefully that was still hearable. And with that, I think we're now done for the year. And as I said, kind of giving a look forward at what's coming up. We will be back next week. Let's see, did I put it here? No, I don't think I did. But yeah, we'll talk about some Wassa stuff, the city of Wassa, starting with the concept of the Big Bull Falls and the namesake for the city next week. In the meantime, again, I always want to thank everybody for watching. It's cool that people stick around and listen to us talk like this every week, occasionally at least. And we'll see you in the next year. Have a wonderful New Year's, everybody. Thanks.